What if I told you that the reason you can't save money has almost nothing to do with your willpower, your discipline, or even your income? What if the entire system, from your banking apps to your favorite stores to the way you get paid, is specifically engineered to make saving money as difficult as humanly possible? According to the Federal Reserve, 62% of Americans couldn't cover a $500 emergency without borrowing money. But here's the part that should make you angry. This isn't an accident. This isn't because people are lazy or financially illiterate. This is by design. The modern economy has evolved into a sophisticated machine with one primary function: extract as much money from your pocket as efficiently as possible while making you feel like you're in control the entire time. And it's working, spectacularly. Hi, I'm Matt, and on this channel I expose the financial systems that keep people broke and show you exactly how to beat them at their own game. If you're tired of feeling like your money disappears no matter how hard you try to save it, hit that subscribe button right now, because what I'm about to show you will fundamentally change how you see every financial transaction in your life. Here's what nobody wants to admit. 50 years ago, saving money was relatively straightforward. You got paid, you had physical cash, you had to physically go to a store to buy things. They were barriers, friction points that naturally slowed down spending. Your brain had time to ask, do I really need this? Today, those barriers have been systematically demolished, and it's not conspiracy theory nonsense, it's documented business strategy. Companies spend billions of dollars researching behavioral psychology, cognitive biases, and neurological triggers to figure out exactly how to separate you from your money before your rational brain has time to object. Think about it. When was the last time you actually saw money leave your hand? When did you last count cash and physically watch it decrease? For most people, money has become completely abstract. It's just numbers on a screen that go up when you work and mysteriously go down through 100 tiny transactions you barely remember making. And that abstraction is lethal to your savings. But here's what they don't want you to know. Once you understand the specific mechanisms designed to keep you broke, you can build defenses against them. You can't win a game you don't know you're playing. So in this video, I'm going to walk you through the 8 ways the modern economy is engineered to prevent you from saving money. And more importantly, the exact countermeasures that actually work. Because here's the truth. People aren't bad with money. The system is just really, really good at taking it. Let's start with the most insidious trap of all, the one that's probably costing you hundreds of dollars right now, and you don't even realize it.
We need to talk about the subscription economy, because this is the most elegant scam ever created, and it's bleeding you dry in slow motion. Here's how it works. 30 years ago, if you wanted to watch movies, you bought a VHS tape or DVD for $20. It hurt. Your brain registered the expense. You thought carefully about whether you really wanted it. There was friction. Today, $9.99 per month. Doesn't hurt at all. It's less than a lunch. Your brain barely registers it. So you say yes, and then you say yes to Spotify, and Disney Plus, and HBO Max, and Amazon Prime, and your gym membership, and your meditation app, and your cloud storage, and your productivity tools. And suddenly, you're paying $200 to $300 per month on subscriptions, and half of them you forgot you even have. A recent survey found that the average American underestimates their monthly subscription spending by over $150. Think about that. You're spending almost $2,000 a year on subscriptions you don't even remember signing up for. But here's the genius of the subscription model. From a business perspective, it converts what used to be conscious purchase decisions into invisible background expenses. Your brain stops evaluating value because the money leaves automatically. You're not buying Netflix every month. You bought it once 3 years ago, and it just keeps charging you. And companies know exactly what they're doing. They've discovered the perfect price point. Just low enough that canceling feels petty, just high enough that it adds up to billions in revenue. $9.99 doesn't feel worth the hassle of canceling, but $9.99 times 12 is $120. Times 5 subscriptions is $600 a year. Times 10 years is $6,000 that could have been in an emergency fund or investment account. Now let's talk about one-click purchasing, because this is where the friction removal becomes truly predatory. Amazon has a patent on one-click checkout. Think about why that's worth patenting. Because they understand that every additional step in a purchase process gives your brain one more opportunity to say, wait, do I actually need this? The buy button is psychological warfare. You see something, you want it, you click once, it's done. Dopamine hits. The package arrives 2 days later. Your rational brain never got a chance to participate in that decision. It was pure impulse from start to finish. And it's not just Amazon. Every app, Every website, every platform has spent millions optimizing their checkout process to be as frictionless as possible. Apple Pay, Google Pay, saved payment information, autofill, one-click subscriptions. They're systematically removing every possible moment where you might stop and think. Do you know what companies call these optimization efforts? Reducing cart abandonment. They literally study why people don't complete purchases and engineer solutions to overcome your hesitation. Your doubt is their enemy. Your impulse control is the obstacle they're being paid to demolish. How much have you spent in the last month on one-click impulse purchases? Be honest with yourself. That random thing from Amazon, that app subscription you signed up for, that food delivery when you had food at home. Each one felt harmless. $15 here, $25 there. But I guarantee if you added it up, you'd be shocked. And this is where it gets predatory, because the subscription economy and one-click purchasing aren't separate problems. They work together. You one-click subscribe to something, it starts billing you monthly, you forget about it, and your money just evaporates into the void month after month after month. The system isn't designed for you to save money. It's designed for you to spend money as easily as possible while barely noticing it's happening. And it's working. But the subscription trap is just the first layer, because while these microtransactions are draining your account from one direction, there's a much larger force crushing you from another direction entirely. And this one is destroying your ability to save faster than any subscription ever could.
Let's talk about inflation. Not the abstract economic concept you hear about on the news, but the real, tangible way it's destroying your ability to save money right now. Between 2020 and 2025, we've watched inflation spike higher than we've seen in over 40 years. And while economists debate whether it's transitory or persistent, here's what actually matters to you. Everything costs more, and your paycheck hasn't kept up. The average cost of groceries has increased by approximately 25% over the last 4 years. Rent in major cities has jumped 30 to 40% in many markets. Car insurance rates have skyrocketed. Healthcare costs continue climbing. Meanwhile, median wage growth, about 15% over the same period. Here's the brutal math. If your expenses were $4,000 monthly in 2020, they're now $5,000 for the exact same lifestyle. That extra $1,000 a month, that's $12,000 a year that used to be savable income. Now it just covers the same bills. Where exactly are you supposed to save money? But here's what makes this even more insidious. Companies have gotten sophisticated about hiding price increases. Your favorite snacks are getting smaller while prices stay the same. That's shrinkflation. You're paying the same amount for 20% less product, and most people don't even notice. Or drip pricing. That $99 hotel room becomes $145 after fees stack up during checkout. You're already invested, so you pay it. These tactics are designed to extract maximum money while minimizing your awareness. Now layer on the FOMO marketing machine. Limited time offer, only 3 left in stock. Flash sale ends in 4 hours. These create artificial urgency that bypasses rational decision-making. Your brain's fear of missing out is a powerful psychological trigger, and modern marketing has weaponized it. You see limited time, and your stress response activates. You make impulsive decisions. You spend money you hadn't planned to spend on things you don't actually need. And social media has amplified this beyond anything we've seen before. You log into Instagram and get hit with targeted ads for products that feel designed specifically for you because they were. The algorithm knows what you like, what you click on, what you linger over. It feeds you endless, perfectly curated temptations. But it's not just ads. It's influencer marketing. It's watching people living apparently amazing lives with amazing products. It's the pressure to keep up, to maintain an image. And every time you resist, another post appears showing exactly what you're missing. When was the last time you bought something because you saw it on social media? Not because you needed it, but because you saw it, it looked appealing, and the purchase path was so frictionless you owned it before your rational brain could object? That's not weak willpower. That's a trillion-dollar industry applying behavioral science to make you spend. You're fighting teams of psychologists, data scientists, and marketers whose job is getting past your defenses. The game is rigged, but it gets worse, because while inflation squeezes your budget and marketing triggers impulsive spending, there's a third layer that's even more predatory, and this one traps people in debt cycles that take years to escape.
Let's talk about buy now, pay later, because this might be the most dangerous financial innovation of the past decade, and it's everywhere. Afterpay, Klarna, Affirm, Zip. These companies have exploded in popularity. And their pitch sounds reasonable. Split your purchase into 4 easy payments with no interest. Seems harmless, right? It's just spreading out the cost. Here's the problem. Buy now, pay later isn't designed to help you manage expenses. It's designed to make you spend more money than you otherwise would. These services eliminate the psychological pain of payment. Instead of spending $300 right now, you're only spending $75 right now. Your brain registers 75. It doesn't register that you've committed to 3 more payments. The friction is gone. The spending increases. And here's where it gets predatory. They market themselves as better than credit cards because there's no interest. But they make money by getting you to overspend and charging merchant fees. What happens when you have multiple buy now, pay later accounts with staggered payment schedules? You lose track, you overdraft, you miss payments, and those no-interest plans hit you with late fees that make credit card interest look generous. But buy now, pay later is just one piece of a larger predatory lending ecosystem. Payday loans with 400% APR, title loans, overdraft fees charging $35 for being $5 short. These are poverty traps disguised as helping hands. If you've made it this far in the video, you're in the top 15% who stick around for real financial education. So let me ask you directly, how many different payment obligations do you currently have? Buy now, pay later accounts, subscriptions that auto-renew, payment plans. When was the last time you added them all up? Because this is how the system wins. It fragments your spending across so many streams that you lose visibility into the total. You're not making one bad decision, you're making 50 small decisions that individually feel fine, but collectively are financial suicide. And while all of this is happening, social media shows you influencers living their best lives. Here's what nobody tells you. Most of them are broke. They're financing the lifestyle. They're being paid to promote products. They're creating an illusion designed to make you feel like you're falling behind. This is lifestyle inflation on steroids. You're comparing yourself to carefully curated highlight reels from people all over the world. You see vacation photos and think, I should travel more. You see new cars and think, maybe I need an upgrade. And every time you try to close that imaginary gap, money disappears from your savings. The system has created an environment where saving feels like deprivation, where being financially responsible feels like punishment. And if you feel that pressure, you're not weak. You're responding exactly how the system wants you to respond. But there's another layer we need to talk about, because even when you're aware of all these traps, there's still an invisible tax on every transaction you make, and most people have no idea how much it's costing them.
Let's talk about hidden fees, because this is where companies have gotten truly creative about extracting money without you noticing. Start with your bank. You think your checking account is free. Look at your statement. Monthly maintenance fee if your balance drops below $1,000, ATM fees when you use the wrong machine, overdraft fees, wire transfer fees, paper statement fees, foreign transaction fees, minimum balance fees, dormant account fees. A recent analysis found that the average American pays approximately $300 per year in banking fees. $300 just to access your own money. And most people don't even realize it's happening because these fees show up as small line items scattered throughout the month. Now let's talk about subscription creep. Remember earlier when we discussed subscriptions? Here's the hidden cost nobody mentions. Price increases. That streaming service you signed up for at $9.99, it's now $13.99. Your music subscription went from $8 to $11. Your cloud storage doubled in price. But they don't cancel your service and ask if you want to resubscribe at the new price. They just start charging more and send you an email you probably don't read. Companies are betting that raising prices by 15 to 20% annually will lose them fewer customers than they gain in additional revenue. And they're right. Most people don't notice or don't care enough to cancel. So prices just keep creeping up and your expenses quietly grow without any change to your lifestyle. But the most insidious hidden cost is financial illiteracy by design. Notice how nobody teaches personal finance in schools? That's not an oversight. An educated consumer is a dangerous consumer, dangerous to profit margins. If everyone understood compound interest, credit card companies would lose billions. If everyone understood opportunity cost, luxury car sales would plummet. If everyone understood tax-advantaged accounts, financial advisors charging 1% annual fees would go out of business. The system benefits from your confusion. Think about how complicated the financial industry has made everything. Tax codes thousands of pages long, investment prospectuses written in impenetrable jargon, credit card terms and conditions that require a law degree to understand. This complexity isn't accidental, it's protective. The more confused you are, the less likely you are to optimize your finances, and the more money leaks out through fees, poor decisions, and missed opportunities. And don't even get me started on workplace retirement plans. The average 401k has an expense ratio between 0.5 and 1% annually. Doesn't sound like much, right? But over 30 years, that 1% fee will cost you approximately 28% of your potential returns. On a $500,000 portfolio, that's $140,000 gone to fees. But companies bury this information in dense documents nobody reads. Let me ask you something. Do you know the exact expense ratios on every fund in your retirement account right now? Do you know what your bank charges for overdraft protection? Do you know how much you're paying in subscriptions that have increased their prices in the last year? If the answer is no, you're not alone. And that's exactly how the system wants it. Complexity creates cover for extraction. In the next 4 minutes, I'm going to show you exactly how to fight back against every trap I've just described. But first, you need to understand that this isn't about budgeting harder or having more willpower. This is about building specific systems that work against the machine.
So the system is designed to keep you broke. Subscriptions drain you automatically, inflation squeezes your budget, marketing triggers impulse spending, predatory lending traps you in debt cycles, hidden fees bleed you slowly, financial complexity keeps you confused. Now what? Here's the truth. You can't change the system, but you can build defenses that make you nearly immune to it. And it starts with visibility. First, do a financial audit. Every single recurring charge, every subscription, every auto renewal. Use your bank's transaction history and go back 3 months. Categorize everything. I guarantee you'll find at least 2 to 3 subscriptions you forgot about. Cancel anything you're not actively using multiple times per month. This alone could save you $50 to $100 monthly, $600 to $1,200 annually that can go straight into an emergency fund or investment account. Second, turn on friction. This is critical. Delete saved payment information from websites. Remove one-click purchasing. Unlink Apple Pay and Google Pay from your most tempting apps. Force yourself to manually enter your card details for every online purchase. Those 30 seconds of friction give your rational brain time to ask, do I actually need this? This one change could cut impulsive spending by 40% or more. Third, automate savings before you can spend it. The moment your paycheck hits, have money automatically transferred to a separate savings account at a different bank. Not the same bank where you have your checking account, a completely different institution where accessing the money takes effort. Pay yourself first isn't just advice, it's the only defense that consistently works against the spending pressure of modern life. Set up automatic transfers of at least 10 to 20% of your income if possible. Make it happen before you see the money, before you can spend it, before your brain registers it as available. If you wait until the end of the month to save whatever's left over, there will never be anything left over. The system is too good at taking it. Fourth, use cash for discretionary spending. This sounds old-fashioned, but it works because it reintroduces friction and visibility. Withdraw a set amount of cash every week for entertainment, dining out, and miscellaneous purchases. When the cash is gone, you're done spending in those categories. You'll be shocked how much more carefully you spend when you're handing over physical bills instead of tapping a card. Fifth, build a 72-hour rule for any non-essential purchase over $50. See something you want, add it to a list, and wait 72 hours. If you still want it after 3 days, buy it. But I guarantee at least half the time the impulse will pass. This simple rule can save thousands annually while ensuring you still buy things you genuinely value. Sixth, annually audit and renegotiate everything. Call your insurance companies, call your internet provider, call your phone company. Tell them you're considering switching and ask what retention offers they have. You'll be amazed how often prices drop. Then review every subscription and ask if you're actually using it enough to justify the cost. This yearly audit protects against subscription creep and price increases that happen when companies bet you won't notice. And finally, invest in financial education. The system counts on your confusion. The antidote is knowledge. Learn about compound interest, understand tax-advantaged accounts, study expense ratios and fee structures, read about behavioral psychology and cognitive biases. The more you understand how the game works, the better you can play defense. The system is designed to keep you broke, but it's not unbeatable. It just requires you to acknowledge that you're in a fight and build defenses accordingly. every subscription you cancel, every impulse you delay, every dollar you automate into savings before you can spend it, that's you winning a small battle. And enough small battles won consistently over time, that's how you build actual wealth in an economy designed to prevent it. The choice is yours.